Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Mandatory Live. If you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because it helps the channel grow. If you've already done that, thank you so much. Remember, you can find us on the audio side as well. So wherever you get your shows, podcasts, you can find us there. Give us a 5-star, leave a rate and review because that helps the channel grow as well. And we just want to say thank you so much for everyone that supported. Drop comments. Remember, this is an interactive show, so we want to see your comments, and we have a full show today. We're going to try to get into what's going on in terms of there no longer being pay-per-views for the Ring magazine cards with Turk. We're going to try to touch on that, but we have a full show because it's actually a really, really big boxing weekend in terms of fights. We're going to talk about Usyk and Dubois, their second fight. We're going to talk about Bam Rodriguez and Cafu, but we're not even like, I think we got to mention Bryan as well. Like Diego Pacheco's fighting this weekend. Is he not? Trevor McCumbee?
Is that this Saturday?
I think it is. I think
on.
that's this Saturday. So it's a jab. And by the way, we are going to obviously talk about the return of Manny Pacquiao against Mario Barrios. I don't even know how this is happening. So
you're right. This is
yes.
This is on the Bam Rodriguez card. That's right. He is the co-feature. And Emma Williams is fighting on the card, and Pablo Valdez and Omari Jones. Jesus.
It's a very good card. It's a very good card, actually.
Oh, my goodness. How are we going to do this? I think with this card, or with all these cards, all right, we got TJ, we got Marlon in the chat right now. If you hear any noise behind me, there's some work being done where I live at. So hopefully you guys don't pick up on that too much. But yeah, I think with Bam Rodriguez, we will not start there. But now with Diego Pacheco there, I mean, there's an interesting conversation to be had about super middleweight, which is a weight class that I thought was looking like a mess, and you could argue still is. But now with Hamza Shiraz getting the win over Edgar Berlanga, Diego Pacheco has a chance to make a statement. So that's a lot of fun too.
Oh, you know what I also kind of want to get into? Maybe I can be late. It's fine. Ring Magazine put out their rankings of that division that you sent me the other day. And you said that it was pretty fair. You thought that weight class was pretty fair in terms of where they placed Hamza Shiraz.
No, it was super middleweight.
Yeah, super middleweight. And so we're going to try to get into all of it such a bit, and we love hanging out with you guys as well. We will get to your comments. There will be a little space in the show where we do that. We're going to try to get through everything. So why don't we get started, Bryan? Because we got too much to talk about, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Where do we want to start? Where do we want
Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. I think we have to start off with that. Okay, so Manny Pacquiao is returning to the ring and he's taking on Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios is a champion in this division. And, Bryan has said that he might be the weakest one. I'm throwing you under the bus here because you know how I feel about Mario Barrios. I think
stand by it. Who wins in a fight right now, Mario Barrios or Rolly Romero?
Okay. Let's not do that. Okay.
No, because I'm just saying. Like,
okay. Here's the thing.
Mario Barrios is good, but also
I like Mario Barrios a lot. Last fight. I understand that. Here's the thing. Abel Ramos can fight though. Okay. Abel Ramos is a really good fighter. I will say this. I'm really proud of Rolly. By the way. Yeah. I'm really proud of Rolly because I think he kind of shocked everybody when he beat Ryan Garcia, and I think he dominated that fight, to be honest with you. So I would obviously take Rolly, but we've also seen Rolly in some really bad performances, right? Where he is getting knocked out. But I'm happy for Rolly. This is not a Rolly conversation, but I want to focus on Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Bryan, like, how is Manny Pacquiao even in this fight? Let's start there because this is wild to me. And guys, they're also talking about Manny Pacquiao wants to fight Mayweather again. We got to get into everything. Bryan, how is Manny Pacquiao fighting Mario Barrios? And this is a title shot, is it not?
It's for the WBC championship. We're old because Pacquiao Mayweather was 10 years ago.
I'm very old. You're about to make me cry right now.
I was in college. I remember we had like a fight party for this. This is what fight parties were.
I went to a fight party. Yeah.
It's rankings time. Okay, we're pulling up the rankings. Let's do this.
This was only in time where Bryan did this. You got to pull up the rankings. You got to share a screen. So Bryan, let's get into this.
I love doing this. And the reason why we're doing this though is because TJ actually says real quick, Rolly's too small for welterweight. For true welterweights, I agree. He also says Rolly doesn't beat Abel Ramos and Barrios beat Ugas. Okay. All that being said, Barrios is WBC champion, so we're going to focus on WBC rankings. And here's my difficulty with this Manny Pacquiao fight. One, Manny Pacquiao has not fought in 4 years. He hasn't fought in 4 years, and I said this over on my channel in the preview I did as well. He hasn't fought in 4 years. He hasn't won in 6. The last time he won was before COVID against Keith Thurman, against an undefeated Keith Thurman, against a good Keith Thurman. But after that, he looked washed against Yordenis Ugas after a 2-year layoff. And Ugas, by the way, and I'm not saying this because we follow each other on Twitter, he's good. Like he was legitimate. Like he was a champion. He actually was competitive with Spence before he got stopped. Like Ugas was good. But at the same time, Pacquiao landed like 16% of his punches in that fight or something to that effect. 16, 17, 18. Like he was all them Pacquiao flurries, like they were not doing shit to Ugas for the most part. But here's the thing. Here's the other side of this. So on one hand, Pacquiao should not be fighting for a title. Pacquiao does not deserve a title shot on merit in terms of currently. Like you should come back and be a contender first, right? However, that was on your background. However,
yeah, no, I don't know what's going on over there. Something's going on. What is that?
Got,
like a motorcycle or something like that? Someone's racing out there?
Today. Look, we both live in major metropolitan cities. The other piece of this, though, is Amazon Prime doesn't value PBC the way Showtime did, is how I'll word it. Amazon probably doesn't want to sell a main event around Mario Barrios versus, you see over here, number one contender, Soleiman Sissoko or Raul Curiel, who some people like and is up and coming and has power, but no one knows who the fuck he is yet. Like on a real level. And if you have the zone, chances are you might be a boxing fan. You might also just have it for, NFL stuff, soccer especially, but like chances are you're a boxing fan. If you have Amazon Prime, you might not give a shit about boxing because mad people have Amazon Prime for Amazon Prime, not because there's boxing tied to it. And a lot of people had Amazon Prime before PBC was folded into that deal. So all of this is to say, if you look at the WBC's top 15, Soleiman Sissoko all the way down, Raul Curiel, Conor Benn, who I don't even know if he's going to be a welterweight anymore, Thulani Mbenge, Jack Catterall is now moved into the rankings. Eimantas Stanionis, who we just saw get dog walked against Jaron Boots Ennis after a year layoff. Like, who is the guy that you can sell to Amazon and be like, yeah, this is going to, be a title fight and what have you? Unless it's just Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora 2 being the main event and you just don't have a title fight, which, okay, maybe. But the point of it is Manny Pacquiao, even right now, is more popular than every boxer in the world, maybe even including Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is the only one that could stand up to him in terms of just sheer popularity. And if Floyd Mayweather were to fight him again, him being Manny Pacquiao, they would still be the top 2 guys, like in terms of popularity all these years later. So I think that's part of it, Shantelle. It's like, on one hand, he doesn't deserve it on merit, even though he's a Hall of Famer, one of the best ever, all the things. But also, if you're trying to sell an event on Amazon Prime pay-per-view or whatever it is, you can't do that with anybody else, especially if you're trying to keep this deal going, because PBC hasn't been super active with Amazon throughout the course of their deal.
Well, I think that's probably the most interesting thing is like, what is PBC doing? Like before it used to be at least a fight a month. And now it's just like we're getting these long waiting periods and it's never been like this. And I don't know if it's because of the deal with the Amazon, but all I know is Jake Paul is having a smooth time at Netflix. So it's like, what's going on here? Are they just not putting together fights? And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of good fighters at PBC. I will say this. That's probably the best point you've ever made on the mandatory in terms of popularity. Manny Pacquiao.
Thank you.
No, because I think Manny Pacquiao transcends the sport. He's that big. He's known all over the world internationally. I would probably say people know him more than Canelo Alvarez. I would bet money on it. He's a god where he's from. like an
Yes.
absolute god where he's from. So even
In the
in that
ring,
area,
not politically, apparently, but in
yes,
the ring.
yeah. Oh, well, I mean that's a different conversation. You know what I mean? But I will
Some
say
people
this is
don't
that,
like his politics, but that's
hey
for
man,
another day.
there's a lot of people out there in politics I don't rock with. I'll say that much. But Manny Pacquiao is that big, so in terms of his popularity, but in just in terms of the fights they could have made, and I understand that this, like I've said this before, 147 is not popping. 147 is always popping. It's not right now. And obviously, Manny Pacquiao, like, I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of want to see what he looks like just because of what I've seen. It hasn't looked great, but it's Manny Pacquiao. And I think people will still want to watch this fight. Now, as in terms of him fighting a guy like Mario Barrios, who, Brian, you've said before, you think is the weakest champion at 147 pounds, this is a big fight for him.
Might be
And
Rogan
Manny
now, to
Pacquiao,
be fair, but yeah.
yeah, Manny Pacquiao is, still Manny Pacquiao. The speed isn't the same. The power is definitely not there. But I think he'll give Mario Barrios a good test. And Mario Barrios makes a lot of mistakes, defensively as well. And he gets hit a lot, but he also throws a lot. And in terms of power, Mario Barrios should have this, should he not? Because like Manny Pacquiao's power is not the same. There isn't a lot of power on his punches at this point in his career, and that's not his fault. That comes with age. And Manny Pacquiao has fought so much throughout his career. Like, the mileage on this man, it must be crazy.
He stopped Miguel Cotto in 2009. He fought 17 times after. One knockout victory. One. That was against Lucas Matisse, who at the time was probably cooked. I think most of us would agree he's probably cooked. Like, Pacquiao just doesn't have that power anymore. Like, he Shantelle, this because I've mentioned this on the show several times. He's the prime example I use for, like, there comes a point in time for some of these guys, these pressure fighters, where they don't stop people anymore. Canelo is here, it appears. Amanda Serrano, save for Stevie Morgan, who I think you could knock her out.
My left hook is nasty. Just saying, I could have did it. Okay, we need to fight in my weight class, but I could have did it.
That's a joke, Stevie Morgan, just in case.
No, that, by the way, but I do talk to Bride a lot, just talking about power, and I've said this before, and I won't mention any names, but I'm like, she fights at this weight class, and she's not knocking out people. It's ridiculous. But I always have that conversation with him. But no disrespect to Stevie Morgan.
And I'm Puerto Rican, so I got a left hook. Although I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not a one punch knockout person at all. But still, regardless, like, Amanda Serrano's another one. Like, sometimes the power is just not there after a while. Like, I think one of the overrated things is, like, the power is the last to go. I think that actually may be true for heavyweights. I'm not sure it's true for, like, some people in the lighter weight classes, because you do get older and you get slower, and the way you can set up your shots.
I mean, look at El Gallo. What happened to El Gallo? Right?
It's
like, one of my favorite fighters. So,
yeah.
like, it's just the punch power isn't the same as it used to be. And I think that just comes with time. Like, it comes with age. It's going to happen at some point, right? Like in basketball, like, at some point you're just going to lose it.
Well, here's the other thing. Manny Pacquiao debuted in 1995. There's people who watch this
crazy. It's crazy.
There's people
I'm older than that.
There's people
I'm older than that.
He's been in the ring my entire life. There's people who watch this show who were not born when Manny Pacquiao turned pro.
That's the wild part to me.
There's people who watch the show who were not born maybe around the time he won his first title. They were not even a thought yet. They weren't even in their father's balls yet. Like Manny Pacquiao's old. He's 46. He's gonna be he's closer to 50 than 40. Yeah. And this is what brings me to this to the actual in-ring elements of this. TJ left some comments that were interesting. Like, if you're Mario Barrios, you have to win this fight. Mario Barrios is betting favorite, by the way, 3-1-ish.
As he should be.
Mario Barrios should not lose this fight. Like, you cannot lose this fight. You're in the prime of your career. He has 2 losses on his record to 2 very good fighters. Very good. Okay? Like, Tank and Keith Thurman. Like, he's not a chump. I think when I say he's the weakest champion in the weight class, that was because like Jaron Ennis had 2 of the belts, and I think Brian Norman Jr. would beat him. You know what I mean? And now Jaron Ennis may move up, and Rolly Romero has a title instead. To which, to TJ's point, I'm like, Mario Barrios could probably beat Rolly, but I don't know what Rolly I'm getting. But he's probably too small for the weight class, and
I wouldn't guarantee that though. I don't think I guarantee that he would be Rolly. Like
I don't know, but that's not important. The important thing is he should beat Manny Pacquiao. Like Manny Pacquiao, even in the fight against Ugas 4 years ago, was not landing. There were rounds where he was 10 for 70, legitimately, like 12 for 80. Like he was not landing on Yordenis Ugas, who's like, he's Cuban, but he's not Cuban style the way Erislandy Lara is. You know what I mean? Like he's very sharp defensively, but at the same time, like you can hit him. And I think with Barrios, you're 6 foot with a near 6 foot reach. And to your point here, TJ says, how does Pac get past the jab of Barrios? All Barrios has to do is just jab for 12 rounds, and this could get sad. This like did you guys ever seen William Joppy versus Roberto Duran in like 2001? Like this could be sad. This could be sad. Like I part of me is like, man, maybe he can turn back the clock or whatever against Barrios, because Barrios is not exactly unbeatable. But like, I'm not gonna disrespect Barrios too much and be like, yo, he should lose to a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao. Like, no way. Barrios should win this fight, and I think he could even stop him potentially.
So that's my fear. I don't think. No, I think there's a chance that Mario Barrios could stop him in this fight. Just in terms of Barrios has a high work rate as well. Right. He has a good jab. He throws a lot of punches, has a good work rate. But at the same time, this is a great comment right here. We're going to go to our friend of the show. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Brian, you can do it. Brian's
Ivan Lovena
says Barrios is flat-footed and slow for Pac-Man. He will love that style. He is a little bit flat-footed, I will say that, but I do think Mario Barrios at this point in his career should beat a Manny Pacquiao that is, well past his prime. And that's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Manny Pacquiao go out in a sad way. But if Barrios stops him here, that's what it would be. But here's the thing. Manny's going to throw a lot of punches, and Mario Barrios is going to get hit a lot in this fight. He's not going to have the same work rate. Pac-Man doesn't have the same work rate as he once did, but let's not sleep on him, because let's be serious. Like during his time of his prime, he was one of the best fighters out there. Right? He's a legend. So that's what I'll say. But I don't know why Manny even wants to take this fight. Like he doesn't have to do any of this. He must be bored.
Also, they probably paid him a shit ton, because Amazon is like, yo, we need a hit. You know what I mean? Like they called Mary J. Blige to sing the hook. You know what I'm saying? Like they just need a hit. Manny Pacquiao in this fight against Ugas that I mentioned, it's covering it a little bit, but you see at the bottom here, he landed 130 out of 815 punches in that fight, 16% against Ugas, who, by the way, is not 6 feet with the near 6 foot reach like Mario Barrios is. Ugas landed 151 out of 405. So he threw less than half as many punches than Manny Pacquiao, and landed 21 more than doubled him up in percentage, 37 to 16%. And also in power punches, and this is where you would think Pacquiao would win the category, 88 of 340 versus Ugas, who was 101 out of 171. So basically, any power shot that Ugas threw, he landed 59% of the time in this fight against Manny Pacquiao 4 years ago. And we've seen Pacquiao in the exhibitions. I don't know how hard he was training for those. He didn't look great in any of them, really, for the most part. And the total punches like landed, you see here at the top of the screen, Ugas outlanded him every single round by percentage, and in totality outlanded him in 1 and 2 and 4 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, almost every round.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is, I think what we're going to see in this fight is Manny Pacquiao is going to try to make it interesting, but I'm also wondering about his conditioning. This has to be talked about, right? Is his conditioning still there? Like he did look kind of gassed out.
Marlon makes
Go
an
ahead.
interesting point though, and I think this is the other piece for me. It's like, why was he picked? I'm always thinking about this. Why was somebody picked? And I feel like they're picking Barrios because they think he could beat Barrios, and I think it might be an overestimation of where Pacquiao is in 2025.
Yeah, and I quickly want to go to this really quickly. TJ, a good friend of the show, by the way. Broly was losing to Ishmael Barroso. Come on, girl. I know, I know, and they stopped that fight and they robbed him. But here's the thing: like, he looked really good against Ryan Garcia. And am I putting too much hype on Ryan? I had to get to that comment, but I thought he dominated Ryan. To be honest, he did, and so that was surprising to me. We've seen Broly be knocked out before, so more than once, by the way. Anyways, let's get back to Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. I'll say this. You know what? I feel like people maybe might be underrating Mario Barrios. Like, he's not like the best out there, but listen, you could say that he is. I mean, he has the title in this division and he should win. He is an exciting fighter, but I think he makes a lot of mistakes and he gets hit a lot. And those are his flaws. All he has to do is work the jab. He has a good jab. And Manny Pacquiao is going to move around the ring a lot. So Mario Barrios cannot be flat-footed. That's what I'll say in this fight. Because Manny's going to make it interesting. He's going to be moving around. He's going to be throwing a lot. But that's why I'm like, what's his conditioning like? How do you think Manny Pacquiao's conditioning will be like? I will say this. There's always been videos, but they put out videos because like it's a media thing. Like, we do this in media all the time. When you promote something, you put out the best clips of stuff. You don't put out the bad stuff, right? Where you're like, oh, like they would never put out a video of Manny Pacquiao just like dying in terms of like being tired after, sparring or anything like that. So they're putting out the best videos of Manny Pacquiao. And he looks good. Like, you're like, oh, Manny looks like he's still in shape. But we won't actually know that until he's in the ring. I'll say this. I think the first 6 rounds will be very interesting. I do think there's a chance that Mario Barrios can stop him because Manny Pacquiao is 47 years old. He doesn't have the same punching power. He's not going to have the same work rate. And Mario Barrios has to take advantage of this, because if he doesn't, it's a bad look for him. He'll fall. He'll definitely fall, in the ranking. So I'll say this. I'm going to take Mario Barrios to win. And, we should actually pull up some of the odds. And I'm actually going to go to one prominent sports book right now and just take a look at the odds, guys, and just see how people are going to be betting this fight. Also, drop in the comments how they're going to be betting this fight. Brian, do you have any thoughts on how you're going to be betting this fight? There's some noise going on in Brian's building. So let's just put that out there. That's why he's so quiet, because this is the longest Brian has never spoken on this show. Usually he talks for like
no, you talk.
Right, no, it's not. You talk for like sometimes like 7 minutes, and I'll be like, and you'll be doing this whole thing, and it's like I think you forget that this is a 2-person show sometimes. So that was the longest I've ever talked on the show, and it felt uncomfortable for me because usually Brian will, just break in there. I'll see that. Okay, I'll stop hating on you. Okay, so Mario Barrios is a -290.
I have the odds.
Where is he? Okay, so he's a what? -280 there?
Yeah, slightly better. It was 300 before. Evidently, people have been betting Pacquiao this week.
But here's the thing. Like, okay, so Manny Pacquiao is a +220. Like, if you don't think Mario Barrios is that good, y'all, I think you place money on Manny Pacquiao. I think you do.
You know
like
what's
+290? What? Go ahead, tell us. You just tell us. We know there's noise. It's not that bad.
Okay, whatever. You know what's interesting is that Barrios is +130 to win by stoppage and +200 to win by decision. He's actually shorter to win by stoppage against Manny Pacquiao.
I mean, that's kind of interesting. They think that he's going to win on points. But here's the thing. Do we think that Manny Pacquiao is going to be knocked out in this fight?
They think he's going to stop Manny Pacquiao at +130 versus Mario Barrios on points at +200. Like, and I'm looking at group round betting right now. Barrios to win late, 10 through 12 +750.
I like 7 through 12. I like 7 through 12. What's 7 through 12 looking like?
Yeah,
I think
they don't have all the group round betting available.
Okay, I would look for this fight. I would look at 7 through 12 guys for this fight, because Mario Barrios should stop Manny Pacquiao.
Here we go. 7 through 12 +250. Barrios.
I like that. I would place money on that, but I'm
It's
also
either
not
that or by
sure.
points. But
Okay, let's get to some comments here, guys. Let's get to TJ, who said Barrios beat Ugas. I'm a big
handily
Ugas
too.
fan.
Me
I'm
too.
a big Ugas fan, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's get to TJ. Also said Barrios all day. TJ, I'm rocking with you. I'm a big Mario Barrios fan. I think that some people underrate him a little bit, but I think he's a solid fighter. I like his fight style. Marlon 2631, big friend of the show, longtime friend. It's a reason why Manny Pacquiao picked Mario Barrios, because Mario Barrios is not that good. And I think that's what people are thinking of here. Jesus is also in the building. What's up, Jesus? Any final thoughts before we
Foxy.
move on?
Notice Suleiman has been mentioning that Pacquiao has been very busy with drug tests all over the world. Can't remember too many drug tests being made so public that a fighter is clean before a fight.
I mean, I think it's a really weird time in boxing right now where you're seeing so many fighters come out dirty. So it's one of those things. I don't know. Very interesting. I don't want to put that out there that someone might come out dirty in this fight. I mean,
Let's
I'm not going
pivot
to do
to.
that.
We're both backing Barrios. Let's pivot to Usyk. We might as well. I mean, at this point, we've done this fight for like almost 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know. We went a little bit longer because Brian was scared to talk. You don't have to mute every time, dude. Don't worry about it. We're giving you the inside production tools. All right, so we're going to be seeing Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois for the second time. As you know, that first fight, there was something controversial that obviously happened, and there was a low blow called on Daniel Dubois, and Usyk hit the canvas. And some people thought it was a low blow. Some people didn't think it was a low blow. I would not know. I am not a man. But from what everybody was saying, guys on X and all that, they were like, that wasn't a low blow. It didn't look too low. I would not know. Brian, do you think it was a low blow? Because you guys in the chat, let me know as well. You guys would be able to answer this. Because it's like, if you even get touched in that area, pause. If you do, like, I get it would be different for everybody. I'm guessing. And so, do you believe that was a low blow? And should Oleksandr Usyk be a little bit concerned in this fight because we've seen what Daniel Dubois has done. I mean, look at what he did to Anthony Joshua.
It depends on the low blow front. Like it's, I've gone back and forth about this. In the moment, I didn't think so. And then, I mean, in the moment, I did think so. I did think it was low. And then watching it back, I was like, man, I don't know. Because it also depends on where the impact was. And the impact, I'm trying to pull an image together, literally just to see how like the magic gets done. I just Googled Usyk Dubois low blow. So here's where we're at. And you can see in this photo right here, like this is like, it looks like it's on the belt, but part of the glove might be under. Where was the impact? Like that, this is sort of the thing. Like it's kind of one of those situations where only Usyk can tell us. This is another angle of it, over here. And this is actually a better shot at it. I don't know what the hell 9. Oh, this is Australia. Actually, I do know this outlet. But like this is one of the clearer photos you'll be able to get. And this looks like it's on the belt line. You know what I mean? Like it's just
looks exactly like it's on the belt line.
So it's hard, and it's like with pause because I said it's hard with Usyk, like that's such a joke for the show. With Usyk, it's like there is a little bit of a history where he'll take a shot that's kind of borderline and like really sell it to ensure that there's like a stoppage. He did this against Artur Beterbiev in the amateurs. He did this against Anthony Joshua in the second fight. He did this against obviously Dubois. I was rewatching it for a film study that I did on my channel, and there's several different times. There's like 5 different times in that fight where Dubois hits him borderline or low, and Usyk is like signaling that it was a low blow to the referee. He did this several times in the fight. Now Dubois was kind of hitting him low, but I'm not going to say all of those were low blows. Like there were a couple of them where I'm like, I don't really know. But again, only Usyk will know. And I don't think Usyk is out here cheating or anything like that. And again, he's my pound for pound number one boxer in the world. I'm not slandering the dude at all. I do think like I'm glad we're getting this rematch because it's tough. Like I think
Yeah.
there was so much controversy in that fight, and then it's funny after that happened, Usyk kind of just took over. He dropped him around 8, stopped him around 9 with a jab, by the way, like a thunderous jab. Usyk like outboxed him from that standpoint. But the other element of this too is Dubois gotten a lot like more confident since then. Like I heard Paulie Malignaggi make the point where he's been the underdog in 5 straight fights and won all of them. Now, that's
Mm.
not true because he wasn't the betting underdog against Jarrell Miller, but Jarrell Miller was also somebody where it's like, oh, he can beat Daniel Dubois. Like even I was saying, like, yo, he could like, and that fight it was close at one point, and then Dubois ended up impressively stopping him toward the end. So
Whoa, okay. We just got a crazy comment by our good friend of the show, Jesus. Dubois by TKO late. This is interesting. I'm that's why I kind of want to break down the fight now, Brian.
you think
Because
that's
I think
crazy?
I am very high on Oleksandr Usyk. I do believe in Dubois' power, like it's devastating power. It's nasty, but I think Usyk's IQ is a lot higher. And just if you watch the show and you listen to my analysis and whatnot, I love the power puncher. I love the power puncher, but sometimes I go more with skill. I did it last week with Alberto Puello and Subriel Matias. Right, I didn't take the power puncher. Daniel Dubois is a great fighter, but he's not more skilled than Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk also uses a lot of movement. His footwork is elite. And I think he's going to move around the ring and do what he normally does. And he's going to get to the body. He's going to use the jab and he's going to be putting on a good performance. But he has to be able to take Daniel Dubois' power. Now, I will say this one thing: the Daniel Dubois that fought Oleksandr Usyk that first time is not the same Daniel Dubois now. Daniel Dubois is rolling in with momentum. People are talking about him. He has a different type of spotlight, and he's winning his fights. His last performance was probably the best performance of his career, was it not?
It was definitely the loudest. Um, the best. I
I
think a
would
lot of
probably
people.
say the best, man.
No, it is. It's just the only thing I would say is like Anthony Joshua, for whatever reason, was like, I'm gonna prove that I can sun this dude and just slug it out with him, and he lost that battle. And whenever Anthony Joshua drops his what should be an incredibly high ring IQ, like he gets caught in this way. Like he tried the big boy Andy Ruiz, he got caught. He tried the big boy Oleksandr Usyk, and he didn't get dropped or caught in that way, but he did get caught and lost twice and got outboxed for the majority of 24 rounds across 2 fights. He tried the big boy Daniel Dubois, got caught, got stopped, and Oleksandr Usyk is not going to fight him that same way. He's going to be moving around. He's going to be setting up his jab. He's going to go more east to west and north to south. He's going to be like throwing combinations from angles that Anthony Joshua wouldn't think of. And Anthony Joshua is like sophisticated for a heavyweight. You know what I mean? Like he's skillful, but like he's not Oleksandr Usyk from just a pure footwork standpoint. He's also a southpaw, so he's going to be figuring out how to get to that straight left hand over and over again. Daniel Dubois knows this because he's fought him before. And I do think like he's more live in this fight than he was in the first fight, but I would still tilt towards Usyk getting it done here. I don't know if he stops him again. Maybe he does. But I do feel better about Dubois going into this fight than I did the other one, especially because the other one, I thought he was going to lose to Kevin Lorena, who's the co-feature here against the inexplicably number one ranked Lawrence Okolie for the WBC heavyweight. They're fighting for the silver title. But like the Kevin Lorena fight, he got dropped 3 times in round 1. And I had bet on Kevin Lorena in that fight because he was like plus 1,000. And I was like, man, I think he could beat Daniel Dubois. But the Daniel Dubois I feel like we're seeing now is different, more confident, and ultimately like probably the second best heavyweight in the world right now. But I think Usyk beats him. I think Dubois has to catch him and has to knock him out because I don't think he's going to win rounds. And I think Usyk either stops him late or wins on the cards. That's where I'm at.
Now here's the thing. I think the exact same thing, but I just think Usyk is so skilled. But is he going to withstand Dubois' power round after round? Because Usyk is going to get hit. I mean, he's good defensively, but I think Dubois is going to be able to land on him. And if we're just going by the fact of what happened in that first fight, there was controversy. How would he look? I think Usyk wins on points, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he drops Usyk. Do you think someone will be knocked down in this fight, Brian? And if it happens, I think it's going to be Usyk. I don't think Usyk's going to drop Dubois.
Yeah, well, no, I think Usyk dropped Dubois last time, so I think he could do it again. He has like sneakily more power than I think people realize. Over half a knockdown is minus 240, so that's heavily juiced. Over 1.5 knockdowns, which did happen last fight. Dubois got dropped twice, plus 145. Usyk to win. Usyk straight up is minus 430. Dubois plus 300. He's plus 185 to win by decision, plus 100 to win by knockout or technical knockout. So we're tilting towards the Usyk stoppage there, betting wise. Dubois to win by stoppage, by the way, is plus 390. So you get better value on Dubois to win by stoppage there, obviously, because he's a heavy underdog. And then from a group round betting standpoint, let's look at the group round betting alts. The first one, Usyk 7 through 12, plus 210. Dubois 7 to 12, plus 1,000. If you think Dubois is going to get it done later, that's super
Those
interesting.
are some good odds.
Usyk 9 to 12, because he got him in 9 last time, is plus 420, by the way. That's interesting too.
So let us know how you're going to be betting this fight. I have one more question before we get up out of here. I'm betting Usyk by decision, if anybody was wondering. Brian, you're betting Usyk by decision as well?
I don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know yet. Well, what were the odds for Usyk by decision, by the way?
185. I might take the late stoppage. I kind of want to hedge and sprinkle on Dubois to stop him late, just in case he just catches him. Like he's on an insane run, and it's almost like who knows. But I don't know. I saw a clip of the way he was chanting "and the new" in Usyk's face, and I'm like, all right, maybe he's a little overconfident now, and maybe Usyk, just like does what he does and just dances on him for 12 rounds. I don't know, but I think this fight's gonna be a fucking banger. Like I can't wait, and I love that it's at Wembley Stadium. Wembley is visually, because I've never been there. It's on my bucket list though, low key. Not necessarily for boxing, although that too. But I'd watch a football match there. But I would love, I would love to see what this atmosphere is going to be like. I can't wait, because I think it's going to be great, great atmosphere, and I think Usyk's going to get it done though. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Let's go to some comments here. We got one from Foxy. First fight was in Poland. Will help Dubois this second fight at Wembley. This fight's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Like I'm betting on Usyk because I think Usyk right now is pound for pound number one, and I think he gets it done. I think he's one of the best fighters in the game, and I think he'll beat Daniel Dubois. I think he'll be able to withstand the power. But here's the thing. You never know in heavyweight boxing. You never know what could happen. And Dubois has devastating power. So I'll say that much. It makes for a very exciting fight. Brian, one question before we move on to the next subject. What would happen if Usyk lost?
Part 3. Got to do it again.
Yeah.
You got the controversy of the first one, but Usyk won. If Dubois wins, you got to do the third one. You have to. And I think you probably bring it back to Wembley Stadium. I think you do that as well. Foxy did mention that the first fight was in Poland. I would imagine you can't do it in Ukraine right now, unfortunately. No. But I think if Dubois wins, you have to do a third one. Absolutely have to.
And it makes for a good story, right? Because the first one, controversy. If Dubois won the second one, that's madness. That makes for a great trilogy fight, but this is great heavyweight boxing, and I think everyone's really, really excited for it. Drop your comments. Let us know how you're going to be betting this one, who you're rocking with, and also let us know why. And if you do take Dubois, drop your slips. I want the proof. Okay? I want the proof.
Also, like, imagine Daniel Dubois winning this fight, and then it's like, you kind of have to put him on the pound-for-pound top 10 list.
You would have to. No.
You have to put him on the list.
I think he would be like top 5. If he beat Usyk, I think top 3. If you beat Oleksandr Usyk and you knock him out, and you just beat Anthony Joshua, knocked his ass out. You know, the picture is actually in our intro. That's how nasty. Brian put that in. It's nasty. He would be top 3. How could you not? It's Oleksandr Usyk. You're beating pound for pound #1 boxer in the world. You would have to be top 3. You would, like, I'm saying this right now. If Dubois gets it done, he's going to shock the world. He's going to shock the world. But here's the thing. It's like, I think Oleksandr Usyk is fighting for more than just boxing. Every fight is a little bit more, you know. Hopefully one day Shantelle will pick a Brit to win a fight. Foxy,
you have before.
You know how high I've been on Anthony Joshua for like the longest time? I'm like one of his biggest supporters. And you know that, Brian. I always talk about his resume. I've always said that. Have I picked a Brit against an American though?
Yeah, you probably have. I think you picked Tyson Fury to beat Usyk the first time, did you not?
No, I took Usyk. You bet Tyson Fury. No, I've always rocked with Usyk.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've always time. But you've always been a bigger Fury fan. Not so much for myself.
Not over Usyk. I just thought the size would be too much, and it was for a little bit until he got rocked, and then that changed.
I don't think the size thing ever matters for Usyk. I'm never worried about it because he's so crafty. It doesn't matter because like he cleaned out cruiserweight, moved up to heavyweight, and people were like, he's too small. Nope, he's too good. Foxy, one day I will. I promise you. There will be a time where I picked Jack Catterall in his last fight. Which didn't go
I'm trying to think of a fight where you've picked a British fighter, like a big fight that you picked a British fighter who wasn't fighting another British fighter. So like not Joshua and Dubois.
Okay.
Not like Chris Eubank, not like Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn.
Conor Benn. I don't know. You know what, Foxy, you make a good point, and I'm gonna go back and look, and I probably haven't. And you know, I'm not trying to hate on the UK fighters, but there's clearly a problem here. There's clearly a problem here. I admit, you're calling me out, Foxy. Well, and you know what? The next time, wait, this is a good point. Dubois is only 27 as well. This is a great point. He's so young. Usyk's like sneakily older, you guys.
Dubois like just starting his prime, maybe.
Yeah,
it doesn't always work that way in boxing. Edgar Berlanga's in his prime years, but.
All right, that's time to move on then. I think that was the cue to move on after you just mentioned Berlanga. So this is a fight that I'm very, very excited for because Bam Rodriguez is going to get back into the ring. I've been waiting for this. He's taking on Cafu. I'm not going to try to pronounce his first name because I always mess up.
I think it's Fumalala.
Fumalala. Yeah.
Fumalala.
Fumalala or Puma. I don't know. Listen, I'm going to mess it up. All right. I'm going to mess it up.
Cafu. Yeah.
I will say this though. I think this is a very tough fight for Bam Rodriguez. This is not going to be an easy, like, I don't think Bam stops Cafu. Cafu is a very crafty fighter. He's tough. He's going to make it difficult. And he's going to make it, I think he's going to kind of make it a brawl because that's what Cafu does. That's kind of his fight style. And I think this one goes the distance. And here's the thing that pissed me off about this, guys. Do not take Cafu lightly. Like this dude is a legit fighter, right? And what they did is they announced Bam Rodriguez's next fight against Fernando Martinez. Like they already did they? Oh my God! What is going on here? Did they just say no?
Because it's scheduled. It's scheduled. Yeah.
But why is there a check mark against Cafu like that? Bam already won the fight.
No, that's because it's sanctioned. That's why.
Okay. Oh my God,
it's just sanctioned and all that.
But guys, I think okay. So here's the thing: they announced it like recently. They could have just waited until the end of Bam and Cafu, and been like, "Yo, we have this fight set up for November." I know what people are thinking. Like the Martinez fight is a bigger fight, but it's so disrespectful to a guy like Cafu and his team that's training for this fight. And I think people are going to be surprised. This is going to be a very, very competitive fight. Brian, your thoughts on this? Oh,
Cafu is good. Cafu is also he has a weird 3 draws on his resume, by the way. Just to touch on Bam real quick before I continue with Cafu. The other fight has been announced, Fernando Martinez. Notice how they don't list the titles yet because they want to make sure Bam Rodriguez holds up his end. Now, I think he will, to be fair, but I agree. Like, you should have plans after a fight. Like, the WWE, once WrestleMania ends, they're thinking about the next year's WrestleMania already. Historically, like, you have to plan for it. You just don't tell everybody your plans. You have to do it in
Yeah.
secret. You don't want to disrespect Cafu, give him bulletin board material, and then he knocks out Bam Rodriguez in the upset of the year or an upset of the year contender. And then it's like, oh shit. Like, Turk has already done this, and we've seen it derail his plans. He's luckily, like, he was backing Shakur Stevenson, he was backing Hamza Shiraz very, very publicly, disrespectful to William Zepeda and Edgar Berlanga, although I don't think people care that Edgar Berlanga gets disrespected. But like Wilder Joshua on the same card, they're gonna fight each other next, up in flames because Wilder lost. Like, there's been instances where this happened with, obviously, in the Times Square card where Rolly Romero lost. Devin Haney performed like not up to standard, and then Devin Haney can't fight Ryan Garcia next, because how are you going to sell that after Ryan Garcia did what he did and Devin Haney looked how he looked? Teofimo Lopez wasn't necessarily inspiring against Arno Barbosa. People were just hyping up his performance because he wasn't completely just flat like everyone else, but he didn't do a ton either. He just kind of did enough to win, and he just did a couple of things that were cool looking. Ooh, you know what I mean? Whatever. But I think with Cafu, though, this is not easy. It's just a lot of people just haven't seen him fight yet. He's from South Africa. He's 11,
Dude,
0, and
he's
3.
very crafty. Very crafty.
He can hit too, which is the other thing. So his 3 draws, they're very early on in his career. He's gotten some experience since, and all of them were in South Africa. One of them was he was fighting for the South African flyweight championship, so not the world championship in the flyweight division, but this was one of his first fights. He was 6-0 going into this fight. Jackson Chauke, I think it's how you pronounce it. They drew. Cafu won according to one judge, but it was a majority draw. So this is also going to be his first time fighting outside of South Africa, other than his last fight where he fought in Japan. And this is where he actually won the title to begin with, where he beat Kosei Tanaka for the super flyweight championship in a split decision in Japan. He, in preparing for the Bam Rodriguez fight, I did go back and watch. I thought he won the fight, edged it out. It was very close, but for him to get the decision in Japan was also a big thing. And this sort of sets up this unification with Bam Rodriguez. BoxRec won't tell you this because of business, but they're nope, never mind. I thought Bam also. I thought he had the WBA championship. That could have been from
No. He went. Okay, so the plan is once he beats Cafu, that's what they're saying. Then they're going to unify.
Did he not have the WBA? Maybe a different weight class.
No, then he's going to unify against Martinez. Here's the thing. This is why I think people are sleeping on Cafu. He went to Japan and beat Tanaka. It's tough to do. Yeah. It's very, very tough to do. Like, that's not an easy fight. And this fight for Bam is not going to be very easy. And I think Cafu is going to take him to the distance. I think this is going to be a gritty fight. And Cafu is going to get on the inside. He's going to throw some punches, some very hard punches. And listen, Bam's been dropped before.
That's right. Yeah.
Bam has been dropped before.
Yeah. Look, it's not a given that he beats Fernando Martinez either, although I suspect he'll be a favorite in that fight.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm very big on Bam. He's one of my favorite fighters. I mean, when I'm playing Undisputed, I use Bam. I will say this.
When was the last time you played Undisputed?
I just played it like last night.
So is the update good? They updated it apparently.
Yeah, the update is. There's still so many issues. Like, that's a whole different episode that we should probably do, Brian. That's a whole different episode.
Hey, we'll talk about Undisputed in August because they ain't. Yeah. Boxing again, ebbs and flows. May at the beginning it was cool, and then it fell off a cliff, and now we're back up. And then after next week is Xander Zayas and Clarissa Shields. They're not fighting each other. Although
Clarissa would be down. She would be down.
But after that, we're back down. Like, it's just August looks like it's going to be a bad boxing month, especially if Tank can't fight. And I don't know if he should.
I don't think that's going to happen because Lamont Roach put out a video, by the way, saying that he signed the papers, Tank is not. And there's also been reports by Tank's team, and I don't know how true this is because it's on the internet, so you can't believe everything. But they also said that Tank hasn't been training since his whole thing that happened. The legal stuff.
If that's the
Go
case,
ahead.
they're going to push it back. They're going to push it back. Foxy says,
Yeah.
didn't they announce Zab versus Floyd, getting us back on track before Baldemir versus Zab? I don't know why they do this nonsense. However, Bam is elite. Yes and yes.
So yeah. To finish my thought, when I mentioned Undisputed, Bam is on that pound for pound list, and listen, I think he's going to be on there for a very, very, very long time. He's just one of those guys. Listen, and I love the lighter weight classes. Like that's my bag. I would love to see him against Chocolatito just for those purposes.
Me too.
Because Chocolatito is like one of my favorite fighters of all time. So I would love that. By the way,
if Bam wins the WBO title, look who's the number one contender for that WBO title.
Yeah, I want to see that fight. Like, I think that's a fight where everyone would be very interested. Although, like, to see El Gallo and like what happened to him, that was kind of tough for me to see. So I don't know if Chocolatito's crazy good and he's got many miles on him. But I think also people want to see Bam against a guy like Nakatani when he moves up.
I went in the wrong direction. Nakatani.
Yeah. You were looking for Oscar Collazo. That's why you're going down there, but
that's a good joke. That's a good joke. Remember, Oscar Collazo's on my pound for pound list. By the way, Yankiel Rivera is getting a title shot soon. I learned that.
I like him.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
And Jermaine Ortiz is fighting Steve Claggett on the co-main event.
Jermaine Ortiz, I am actually a fan of. Like, people don't like his flat fight style, but he should win that fight.
I think that's a good fight for him. Nakatani, since we brought him up, like I thought he had another fight. This is rumored. We'll see what happens, but like I don't know if he and Bam are going to fight each other, but I'd want to see it. I think it's more likely though. I think it's more likely
Gonzalez fighting Brandon Figg?
Yeah. All right, let me pull up the card.
I like Joette Gonzalez a lot, you guys. So I like that, TJ. I think me and TJ like the same fighters. We like the same fight style here. That's a good fight. Pull up the card, yes, because I think that's important.
All right, so we're done with Bam. We both think he's going to win. I suspect he'll get us. Actually, I don't know. I could see Cafu bringing that to the cards.
I think it's going the distance. I think it's going to be a tough fight. I think Cafu will push.
No. Bam. I'm not betting on it. I'll tell you that. I'm
going to look right now. I wonder what Bam is to win by decision, because that's what I'm going to be taking.
Bam to win by decision.
Because he's a minus 2,500. Whew. To by decision, Bam to win by decision is a plus 400.
You don't see that in unification a lot. So yeah, plus 430 here, better value. For him to win on points, minus 470 to win by stoppage. I mean, look, he should stop him, I guess, but I don't want to disrespect Cafu like that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, wrapping up. We have the card here for MGM Grand. This is the card of the weekend. This is a good card. So I shout out to PBC for actually putting this. This is they're not putting out cards like they used to in terms of the frequency.
Yeah.
This is a card that interests me pretty much from top to bottom in the way that last week's card with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, top to bottom, I was like, ooh, you get, Tam Tebow, you get Chantelle Cameron very early in the card, like all these sort of things, right? So MGM Grand, by the way, first fight in MGM Grand in a minute. Mario Barrios, Manny Pacquiao. Again, they do the thing where analytically, they have Fundora, Tim Tszyu, but the main event is going to be Pacquiao and Barrios.
Gary Allen Russell's on this card?
Gary Russell's back. He's on this card. We talked about this. You remember this?
This is crazy.
I thought I sent you the thing yesterday where he was in the workouts. I know you've been busy, but he did.
This is a crazy card.
So look. So we got Barrios Pacquiao. We have Fundora Tim Tszyu, the rematch. By the way, Raheem from The Ringer hit me and was like, yo, a Tim Tszyu, Mario Barrios, Oleksandr Usyk parlay is like plus 170 something. And I was like, ooh.
I don't trust Tim Tszyu still. Not that I trust Sebastian Fundora, but it's like the way that he fought. That's the only thing. It's like the way that he fought in that fight was better, but I think like that cut had a lot to do with it. But I just don't trust either of them, so I would stay away
By
from
the
that
way,
fight.
it's not listed here. This is for, I'm pretty sure this is for a title. I'm almost positive of that. It's not listed here, but that should, I thought it was for a championship. I don't know why, because Sebastian Fundora is a WBC. BoxRec recognized the WBC. They don't recognize the WBA, but the WBA title is currently held by Terrence Crawford, who probably won't have that title after fighting Canelo Alvarez. So I don't know if I missed something, but that I thought that was for a title. Isaac Cruz, Angel Fierro, that rematch is happening. That's a little more confusing, but okay. Isaac Cruz barely won the first time. I thought it could have been a draw. Brandon Figueroa, Joet Gonzalez. We got a comment about upset alert there. I don't hate it. David Picasso, who is rumored to fight Naoya Inoue at one point, he's fighting on his card. Mark Maxayo's returning. Gary Russell, Abel Ramos, Omar Salcedo, and then you have a few prospects here. Most notably, Joseph Brown from Vancouver.
I muted myself again. Let's give some love to Joseph Brown from Vancouver. Ryan told me about this guy actually.
Yeah, this is your stomping grounds right here. 18 years old, 5-0, nicknamed the Prodigy from Vancouver.
Nice, I love it. I'm gonna be rooting for. I'm gonna be his biggest fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. But he got to show out. 4 knockouts. Okay, I'm impressed. So this is a great fight, a great card that we're going to be looking forward to.
Now we have the Wembley card. Not as much here, but hey.
We sound like such UK haters all the time. I swear, no. Like, not much here.
Adam Hamed makes his return. He's a prospect that some people are intrigued by. Usyk, Dubois 2, Okolie versus Kevin Lorena, which is basically like, again, this is for the silver title. I don't know why Okolie, he's the #1 contender for the WBC heavyweight championship. Why? Foxy, can you explain to me why this is the case? Like, Okolie, he doesn't have much of a history at heavyweight. He was the cruiserweight champion. He lost in fairly embarrassing fashion to Chris Billiam Smith. And over here, you see this, he moves up to heavyweight. By the way, he weighed in at 260 for his last fight after being a cruiserweight, which I don't know if that's ever happened before. 2 fights at heavyweight. He's won by first round stoppage. He got the silver heavyweight title. He's beaten 2 guys who like aren't like awesome. And he's all of a sudden #1 ranked in this division that's loaded by the WBC.
It's pretty crazy. It's interesting though, because I feel like, and Foxy, give us some more information, because Foxy is one of our friends of the show. That is, I've always said this, guys. We have the smartest friends of the show. We don't have anybody stupid. Sometimes we'll get some stupid comments, but they're fine. They aren't the OGs like you guys. Brian, I think you'll like this.
Okolie is the most boring fighter to watch of all time. He clinches a lot. People from the UK do not like him. You know what I mean? Like, they're not like, oh, he's one of our own, whatever. They don't celebrate him the way that they've come around on Daniel Dubois. People from the UK love like Joe Joyce when he was at his peak. Hamza Shiraz now. There are plenty of others, but you get the point. But they don't rally around Lawrence Okolie in that same way, unless I'm wrong. I think Foxy will back me up on that. By the way, if you look at the heavyweight rankings, look at who he's ahead of. Despite having 2 wins at heavyweight, look at who he's ahead of: Anthony Joshua, Efe Ajagba, Martin Bukoly, Filip Hrgovic, Frank Sanchez, Jalalov, freaking Bakodir Jalalov, Zlay Zhang, Richard Torres Jr., 9th. Nice. Moses Atama, Deontay Wilder. Like, Derek Chisora, Jared Anderson, Justice Honey, Guido Vianello. I could argue, this might sound crazy, I could argue like I would pick any one of these dudes to beat Lawrence Okolie right now.
Yeah,
almost all of them. A lot of them.
I might agree with you there, actually, but let us know. Drop your comments. Let's kind of go away from the cards, though, Brian, and quickly touch on this. So there was news that came out that the Ring Magazine fights and DAZN have now made a deal, and there will no longer be pay-per-views. What does that mean, Brian? And are they trying to just get rid of pay-per-views, or were the pay-per-views not selling?
That's sort of what people are wondering. People who are reading a little deeper. Let me not pull up the Ring article because it's PR. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna do PR here.
It's
Um,
propaganda.
essentially, yeah. Like they're gonna spin it the way he would want it to be delivered. I think. Look, I think no pay per view would be great. I also think what's gonna happen is the zone's just gonna be more expensive. Like that's really my only thought
Yeah.
on it. It's like
And it's
we'll have to
already
wait.
expensive. It's already
We'll have to.
expensive, guys.
It's 30 a month. I think.
It's 30 a month. It's expensive. It never used to be. It used to be like, well, you could pay the full year, you could pay monthly, but before it was like under 15 bucks when it was first out. And now it's like ridiculous. It's like 30 bucks a month and it's probably going to go up to probably 10 more dollars. Like I'm going to put it on pause till the NFL season.
We'll have
There's
to
no
see what
point.
this looks. We'll have to see what this looks like when it actually takes effect. But what I
Yeah.
think at the baseline is going to happen is if they're getting rid of pay per view, I think the zone's just going to get pricier because they're a business is. You have to think about it this way: billionaires and businesses are never in the business of giving away things for the good of the consumer. Like we're going to make things easier for you. That's not how they retain, their status. That's not how they stay rich. That's not how they sort of move forward with their business. They're going to figure out a way. They're going to absolutely figure out a way to make more money off this. And it's not like just not having pay per views. It's going to be like, we'll figure out other ways to charge you. We just want to announce it this way first so that everybody can celebrate it because now we look awesome that we're not having pay per view anymore. But in the long run, it's like when streaming services got announced and it's like, oh, you could have all your favorite channels and you could have it for this amount. And then years later, we're like, well, now if I have all these streaming services, I might as well just get cable because it's the same price. Like it'll be something like that where the zone will eventually like just start charging more and they'll have like this, sort of special deal where it's like, oh, you pay only a little bit extra for this event. Like there's going to be ways to do this. It's like how we were talking about. It's not sustainable to keep paying boxers tens of
Yeah.
millions of dollars to have these fights. It's like at some point, it's like the other shoe's going to fall because they're not going to keep taking that much of a loss on this stuff. And then what happens is we get the purse announcements or the reports about how much they're planning on paying things when Sella really takes over and the purse numbers drop to like almost UFC levels. Like it's not going to be the utopia people think it is, but like
Yeah.
they're going to let people think like that's what it is. And not to shit on everybody's like sort of parade because I think no pay-per-view is great. I just think that they're going to be charging people in other ways. This is capitalism. Like this is a capitalistic thing at the end of the day. And I don't think a business is going to act in the name of the goodness of their heart because businesses don't make money that way.
Well, here's the thing also, I just feel like it's definitely going to go up in price, but the dumbest thing that they were doing was making you pay like $30 a month and then making you buy a pay-per-view. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. When they first got the idea of bringing boxing to the zone, it was like, oh, we're going to have all these fights and it's going to be streaming and it's going to be great. And I'm not going to lie to you, I actually like the app. I like that, I do get a lot of fights. I can always go back and watch a fight. It's great. But when you're telling people on top of the fee that you're paying monthly, that we're going to charge you for all these big fights, some of them shouldn't even be a pay-per-view. And I think that's the issue with boxing. Like a lot of these fights should be free. They should not be pay-per-view. There's only a couple of guys that should be doing pay-per-view. And not every fight is a pay-per-view fight. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So listen, if there aren't going to be any more pay-per-views and we're going to be getting the big fights every month and say it only goes up by like $5, I might be okay with that because I do consume a lot of boxing and obviously I consume a lot of NFL and sometimes I will dabble in soccer. So I do use DAZN quite often. I will say that. But every time they have a pay-per-view, I get turned off. And I've bought every pay-per-view. I've bought every pay-per-view. Yeah, there's nobody gets narked out on this show. Okay. Brian, any final thoughts before we get out of here? I know there was a ton that we wanted to touch on, but I feel like we kind of hit everything that we wanted to.
I hope the no pay-per-view thing is good for the consumers. I'm just going to remain skeptical because we've kind of seen how this goes in this sport. Always be skeptical in this sport when you hear good news, always, or at least when you think you do. As far as everything else, yeah, I might be playing a Oleksandr Usyk, Mario Barrios, not Bam Rodriguez because it's too much juice, but Oleksandr Usyk, Mario Barrios, Tim Tszyu parlay. I might do that. Definitely the first two, Tim Tszyu. But again, if he doesn't
My
get
parlays
cut,
ain't been hitting, man. My parlays like haven't been hitting.
I don't do
lately.
parlays like that, but this time I think I'm back this week. If
I'm gonna make some parlays. Like I'm just waiting for tomorrow for baseball to come back. Like that's what I need. I need my fix. The fact that there's no baseball tonight, like what am I doing? Like I'm just at a loss.
Mets are retiring David Wright's number this weekend.
I love that.
I like
You
David
wasn't.
Wright,
You
man.
weren't.
He was my
love
favorite
David
Met.
Wright.
He was my favorite
Dude,
Met when he was active.
when I came to New York, I don't even like love the Mets like that. Obviously, I'm a Dodgers fan, but I remember I saw a David Wright jersey and I thought about it for a moment because I collect jerseys, but I couldn't do it. But
yeah. Let's finish because you have to go in 10 minutes, and before then, I have some gossip to give you, but it has to be off camera.
Okay, we're gonna get out of here. Because I have things. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. All right. So I will say this, guys.
I found out some stuff this morning. Some industry stuff that I got to pass along.
Oh, okay, you guys, we have to go.
I might. Post fight live.
Yes,
what's the
I can
plan
do
this Saturday.
Okay, let's just talk about it right now because we're gonna have to talk about it later, and we don't have time to gossip. I can do Saturday night now.
Okay.
Do you want to do both?
No, we should probably have one.
Okay, let's do Saturday night then.
Yeah, we'll do. What
so, guys, we're having a post-fight show. Yeah, because if we weren't sure, like we weren't arguing, but we were trying to discuss what we were gonna do, and I was like, I'm gonna go out this time. Wait, it doesn't matter. Post-fight show Saturday night. Join us. We're gonna be breaking it all down, and this card is hella dope. So I'm glad I'm not missing it. I'm not gonna lie, Brian. Yeah. I'll let you have the final words.
We will be back on Saturday night. Take care.